Burnout 101. Signs you're running on empty. Understanding emotional, physical, and mental burnout and why pushing through makes it worse. Welcome to Mind Care is Self-Care. This is a space where we talk honestly about mental health. Not in a scary way, not in a complicated way, but in a way that actually makes sense. Here we focus on mental health literacy, understanding how your mind works, why you feel the way you feel, and how to build a strong foundation for emotional well-being. Because taking care of your mind is taking care of yourself. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, exhausted, anxious, or misunderstood, you're not alone and you're not broken. You just haven't been taught the language for what you're experiencing. Today's video is called Burnout 101, Signs You're Running on Empty. We're going to talk about emotional burnout, physical burnout, mental burnout, and why just pushing through often makes things worse. This video is not about blaming yourself. It's about understanding your limits and respecting them. So take a breath, get comfortable, and let's begin. Introduction. What if you're not lazy? You're just exhausted. Let's start with a question. Have you ever felt tired even after sleeping? Unmotivated even when you care? Irritated for no clear reason? Or mentally foggy no matter how hard you try to focus? And then you tell yourself, I just need to push through. What if that voice is wrong? What if the problem isn't that you're lazy, unmotivated, or weak, but that you're burned out? Burnout isn't just something adults experience at work. Burnout happens to students, athletes, caregivers, high achievers, people who try hard for too long without rest. Today we're breaking down Burnout 101, what burnout really is, the emotional signs, the physical signs, the mental signs, and why just pushing through often makes burnout worse. This isn't about blaming yourself. This is about understanding what your mind and body are trying to tell you. Section 1. What is burnout? Really? Burnout is not just being tired. Burnout is a state of chronic exhaustion that happens when stress lasts too long, rest is not enough, pressure feels nonstop, expectations never ease. Burnout affects your emotions, your body, your thoughts. It builds slowly. Most people don't notice burnout when it starts. They notice it when they can't function the way they used to. Burnout versus normal tiredness. Normal tiredness improves with rest, comes and goes, has a clear cause. Burnout doesn't fully improve with sleep, feels ongoing, affects motivation and emotions, makes simple things feel hard. Burnout isn't about one bad week, it's about too many hard weeks in a row. Section 2. Why burnout happens. Burnout happens when effort and recovery are out of balance. You give more than you restore. This can come from academic pressure, sports or performance pressure, family responsibilities, social expectations, perfectionism, fear of failure. Burnout is especially common in people who care deeply, try hard, don't want to disappoint others, ignore their own limits. Burnout isn't caused by weakness. It's caused by overuse of your mental and emotional energy. Section 3. Emotional burnout. When feelings go numb or overwhelming. Let's start with emotional burnout. This is often the first sign and the most ignored. Signs of emotional burnout. Emotional burnout can look like feeling emotionally drained, feeling numb or disconnected, crying easily or feeling nothing at all, irritability over small things, losing enthusiasm for things you used to enjoy. You might think, I don't feel like myself anymore. Or, I don't care the way I used to. This doesn't mean you stopped caring. It means your emotional energy is depleted. Why emotional burnout happens. Emotions take energy. When you constantly perform, constantly worry, constantly manage expectations, constantly suppress feelings, your emotional system gets overloaded. Eventually, it protects itself by shutting down or becoming reactive. That's not failure. That's survival. Common emotional burnout myths. Myth, if I cared more, I'd feel motivated again. Truth, caring too much without rest often causes burnout. Myth, I'm just being dramatic. Truth, emotional exhaustion is real and measurable. Section 4, physical burnout, when your body can't keep up. Burnout isn't just in your head, your body carries it too. Signs of physical burnout. Physical burnout can include constant fatigue, headaches, muscle tension, upset stomach, frequent illness, feeling heavy or slow. You might wake up already tired. Even rest doesn't feel refreshing. Your body is saying, I need recovery, not more demands. Why burnout shows up physically. Your nervous system controls heart rate, energy levels, immune response. When stress stays high for too long, stress hormones stay elevated, the body doesn't fully relax, energy reserves drop. This creates a cycle of exhaustion. Important note, physical burnout does not mean you're unhealthy or weak. It means your body has been working in high alert mode for too long. Section 5, mental burnout. When thinking feels hard. Mental burnout affects your ability to think clearly. This can be one of the most frustrating parts. Signs of mental burnout. Mental burnout can look like difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness, brain fog, trouble making decisions, feeling overwhelmed by simple tasks. You might think, why can't I focus like I used to? Mental burnout makes your brain feel slow, scattered, or overloaded. Why mental burnout happens? Your brain needs breaks, downtime, recovery. When it's constantly processing information, solving problems, monitoring performance, it becomes fatigued. Mental burnout is like running too many apps at once. Eventually, the system slows down. Section 6, the 3 types of burnout work together. Emotional, physical, and mental burnout are connected. Emotional exhaustion makes mental focus harder. Mental overload increases physical tension. Physical exhaustion affects emotions. Burnout is not one thing, it's a system-wide overload. Section 7, why just pushing through makes burnout worse. This is one of the most important parts of this video. Many people respond to burnout by working harder, sleeping less, ignoring signals, forcing productivity. This feels logical, but it backfires. Why pushing through doesn't work. Burnout is not a motivation problem. It's an energy problem. Pushing through drains remaining energy, increases stress hormones, delays recovery, deepens exhaustion. It's like trying to drive a car with no fuel by pressing the gas harder. The culture of push through. Many environments reward overworking, ignoring limits, being constantly available. But your nervous system doesn't respond to pressure with strength forever. Eventually, it responds with shutdown. Pushing through can lead to longer recovery time, deeper burnout, loss of confidence, emotional numbness. Rest isn't quitting, it's maintenance. Section 8. Burnout is not laziness. This needs to be said clearly. Burnout looks like laziness, but it's the opposite. Burned out people want to do well, want to try, want to care. They just don't have the energy left. Laziness is a lack of effort. Burnout is a lack of capacity. Section 9. Why high achievers are more at risk. Burnout often affects responsible people, perfectionists, people who don't want to disappoint others. High standards without recovery lead to burnout. Caring deeply without boundaries is exhausting. Section 10. How burnout affects identity. Burnout can make people question, what's wrong with me? Why can't I handle this? Why am I not good enough anymore? Burnout attacks self-trust. But burnout doesn't change who you are. It changes how much energy you have access to. Section 11. Why rest feels hard when you're burned out. Many burned out people struggle to rest. Why? Because rest can feel unproductive, guilt-inducing, anxiety-provoking. When your identity is tied to performance, stopping feels unsafe. But recovery requires permission to pause. Section 12. Burnout is a signal, not a failure. Burnout is information. It's your mind and body saying something needs to change. Ignoring the signal doesn't fix the system. Listening to it does. Section 13. Recovery is not instant. Burnout doesn't disappear overnight. Recovery happens gradually, with rest, with support, with reduced pressure, with self-compassion. Healing isn't linear, that's normal. Section 14. You are not alone. Many people experience burnout and don't talk about it. They think everyone else is coping. Everyone else is stronger. They're not. Burnout is common, especially in demanding environments. Section 15. What mental health literacy gives you. Understanding burnout gives you language for what you're experiencing, validation instead of shame, awareness instead of confusion. Knowledge doesn't fix everything, but it changes how you treat yourself. Conclusion. Listen before your body forces you to stop. Burnout doesn't mean you failed. It means you've been strong for too long without rest. You don't need to push harder. You need to recover smarter. Burnout is not the end of your potential. It's a sign that your system needs care. If you're running on empty, you don't need more discipline, you need understanding. Rest is not weakness. Listening is not quitting. Recovery is not giving up. Mental health literacy teaches us one powerful truth. You are not broken. You are human. If there's one thing to remember from this video, let it be this. Burnout is not a personal failure. It's a human response to prolonged pressure without enough recovery. Feeling exhausted doesn't mean you're weak. Struggling doesn't mean you're incapable. Needing rest doesn't mean you're giving up. It means your mind and body are asking for care. At Mind Care is Self-Care, we believe that understanding your mental health is empowering. Awareness is the first step toward healing. And self-compassion is not optional, it's essential. If this video helped you feel seen, understood, or less alone, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who might need it. More videos like this are coming because mental health education should be accessible, honest, and human. Remember, caring for your mind is caring for yourself, and you deserve that care. Thanks for being here. This is Mind Care is Self-Care. Remember to subscribe, share, and comment. Subscribe, share, and comment.